Jag. Nice to see you.
Hey, welcome.
Great to see you.
See you, Mawish.
Hi, I'm Dr. Anita Narang.
And I'm Jag Baines. We're the founders of Island Eyecare, optometrists, and Helix Medspa, our new venture offering treatments for dry eye, acne, ocular rosacea, and much more. Let's go in. Come on in.
Great place. I'm Jerome Dwight, CEO, co-founder for BoomerangFX. I co-founded this company with Dr. Stephen Mulholland, who is the co-founder of InMode and many other businesses. With me is
Mawish. I'm the business development director at BoomerangFX, working with BoomerangFX and helping them grow all over.
So let me tell you a little bit about BoomerangFX. BoomerangFX is an all-in-one practice management software solution for private pay practices, which spans optometry, ophthalmology, cosmetic surgery, med spa, and a whole host of other wellness and holistic practices. We're excited about being the world's first end-to-end solution that also integrates digital marketing. We have a full end-to-end lead management dashboard and in-house digital marketing agency service that is integrated with our practice solution. But we don't stop there. We also have the world's largest library of learning resources that can be accessed on a cloud-based system. We call that BoomerangFX Learn. So as a business that's growing in 5 continents, our client base spans the United States, Canada, Asia, and Australia. We are excited about what we're doing here at BoomerangFX as one of the world's foundational platforms for private pay and private healthcare practices.
Tell us about Island Eyecare, and I think you have Helix Medspa.
Yeah, that's right. So we started this in 2009. My wife, Dr. Narang Anita, and I, we bought a practice that was down the road. It was a 10-year-old establishment. More or less, we bought a practice in a box. It was underrun, and we knew we could turn it around. It came with a patient a day, so it wasn't really much. It was humble beginnings. We also started an e-commerce company, an e-commerce site to sell glasses online. And that was a long road as well. In 2009, we also started a family. Priya is now 12, Kira is 10, and Jaden just had his birthday, he's 9. So we did all of this part-time. So we would trade off. I'd be at home taking care of the kid, or kids, depending on what time in the timeline it was. And Anita saw patients, and then we'd switch up. And that went on for over a decade. So it was a lot of work and part-time. So, we built this up, and now our average is pretty good revenue from the clinic.
How did you build to that?
Hard work, like just basically building trust with our patients. Really, that's really what it was. Like doing right by our patients, making sure there wasn't the used car salesman pitch. It was all truth. Everything came from the heart. It was a patient-centric approach.
A lot of work, though.
Yeah. And basically what happened was, we got our revenues up over the 10 years. The online optical got to 100 orders a day. That seems glamorous, but it's not, because you need a lot of people to manage all those orders and sales and calls and emails, shipping. So all the money went to supporting the system. So as business owners, you guys would probably understand this, that you are left with the crumbs on the plate, whatever's left at the end of the year, forget about the month. So that said, during our journey, the industry drove the price down. It was a race to the bottom. It really was. It was terrible. It was hard. We thought maybe we got to sell more, maybe we got to do more, maybe we'll get more patients in the door, maybe we'll get more sales, and it was never ending. It was because they drove it was a race to the bottom. The value of glasses went down. People perceived it with less love, and we felt that. It was a thankless job at this point. It was really hard. Yeah, so that's how we got here. And then in 2021, we actually considered selling. We were entertaining a couple offers. We were at our end. We were really done. We were feeling that burnout, because we felt like, hey, we're at that ceiling. Maybe this is as good as it gets because there's only so much throughput you can put through and so much revenue you can generate. Okay, well, let's make the smart decision and look for an exit. And maybe we'll just be employees to somebody because we can spend more time with kids and family and maybe have a vacation. There's a big gap before we had a huge gap, right? It was tough. And then that led us to COVID, I think, right? Yeah. Well, no, actually, previous to COVID, InMode popped in. Adile was the sales rep for InMode at that time, and he popped in. And he had mentioned to me that there's this new device that he's selling, and it was this InMode device that treats dry eye caused by meibomian gland dysfunction, MGD. And I said, okay, up until this point, what were we using?
Drops, masks, Restasis.
Yeah, that doesn't work, and it doesn't fix the underlying cause. And it was rough because it was just like a chain of people coming in doing this, suffering from the same problem. So that's interesting, But part of me was like, maybe you might not have liked it because it was bringing something new on, and
Change is hard.
yeah, change is hard, but also it's like we're already at that burnout state. Yeah. It's like I want another responsibility, And it was like, is this a snake oil salesman? Is he selling us something that isn't real? He had mentioned also that the origin of this device was aesthetics, and it came from plastic surgery and aesthetics. So I kind of got intrigued with that. That was a little shiny thing that I got distracted by. And then COVID hit. Wow, that was rough. That was really rough. We had to shut everything down. The team we built over the last decade laid off. Brutal. Like it's hard to find. I'm on an island. I'm on an island. You know how hard it is to find staff and keep staff? It's difficult. I can only imagine everybody else is having staffing problems around the world, but we're on an island. There's only a limited amount of resources here. It's tough. So rather than dwell, we shut down. It was stressful, don't get me wrong. And I took that opportunity to reflect and go down the rabbit hole of InMode. And also like fixing the other things with the business. I don't curl up into a ball. I actually went to work. Honestly, the hard work pays off. You got to put time in. Time in, you'll get everything that you want out. And I reflected on this InMode device and looked at it, and I tried to bring her on board onto it during that time we had spent at home. And she still wasn't into it, right? It wasn't there. And then COVID, the fog lifted and the shackles were off. We were allowed to come out of our cave. And the pandemic craze was coming to an end. And then we opened the doors back up. Slowly built our business back up. It's funny though, here's a testament to this business that we built, is that during COVID, we were delivering glasses at the door because people still wanted to work with us. It was an amazing feeling. It was so gratifying that our patients supported us during that time. It was amazing. It's the relationship we built with our audience, with our patients, right? That was a testament to that. So at that time, I think Sergio came in. Sergio's a new rep for InMode. And now this is interesting. I'm saying these names because initially Adile had everything InMode, and then InMode split it up. They got an optometric division, which was interesting to me. I noticed that. I'm like, well, why would they do that? Maybe there's something here to this. Maybe there's something legitimate. It's not just somebody pushing another good or peddling another product for us, to us. And he said, listen, Jag, I know you know about this device. You did some homework. We talked over email, et cetera, et cetera. He goes, there's an event in Whistler. I'm like, what kind of event? He said, well, it's a conference. We put on these conferences. I'm like, oh, great. Another one of these conferences. We were sick and tired of the ones from the optical industry. It was, you learn more in other ways. Anyways, that's okay. But fatigued, if you will. That's a good way of saying it. We were fatigued. We were fatigued. So he said, you have to go there. You have to go there. If you have any doubts or questions or concerns, they're going to be addressed by the people speaking, Dr. Stephen Mulholland and Dr. Bruce Dorn. And he said, you got to go there. And I felt the passion in his voice. It was different. I'm used to snake oil salesman reps because I've been in the optical industry for so long. People just sell you stuff, then they move on to the next job and you're stuck with a pile of garbage. And I've lived this life, really I have. And this man was passion. And I was like, there's something here. I felt something there. I speak from the heart when I say this, right? So like a good husband, after that, like a good husband, I misled my wife. And I said, we should go to Whistler and make it a family trip. We'll just pop our heads into the conference, I said, right? So, and we did. We did. And she listened to Dr. Stephen Mulholland on stage talk about the efficacy, the origin, how he uses this device, and it was impressive, not to say the least. And also Dr. Bruce Dorn telling us how it's helped so many of his patients, but also he sat with us. The man sat with us, gave us his time. That's like the most precious asset. Like he gave us his time, coached us through it, and he looked at me and said, we got to get this device. I'm like, I'm happy you said that because the paperwork's already drawn up. No word of a lie, right? Okay, let me go show you around.
All right,
we'll finish the we'll continue the conversation over here.
It's funny.
Yeah, that's funny, right? So that was in Whistler, right? So imagine this lab. Okay, let me tell you something about 100 orders a day in the lab. We had these gray trays that are on the wall over here filled with eyeglasses. This whole thing was filled with these trays. It was such a high stress environment because if the optician was sick or absent for one day, that 100 orders didn't get cut. Tomorrow's 100 orders are just around the corner. I was in here all Christmas cutting glasses because I had no choice. It was stressful. It's not a good way to live. And you're making peanuts. You're making $20, $50. It's nothing. Everyone else in that equation makes money before the owner. The frame company.
Like listening to your story was like amazing. It's like 10 years of really like hardship, right? Like, I think, from the outside, people don't fully appreciate the struggles of owning a business.
They don't. And most staff doesn't either, right? No offense, but I mean, some people, like the transient employees that don't know what hard work is, you went to school, you did your business, you understand how much effort it goes into making something for yourself. It's hard. It's absolutely hard. You've earned where you are today. And everything, all your work all your good work is a result of your journey here.
Yeah, and like certainly for young people, if you are fortunate enough to work around people like this who are resilient, who are loyal, it's a great learning experience, right? So I think you guys, really we need more people like you guys, right? Who don't quit, who have a vision and you keep moving forward.
Yep.
It's going to be a lot of challenges.
What's the alternative?
Right? Yeah.
What's the alternative?
Yeah.
Sit down and cry?
Yeah.
No, stop, get up, go. Nobody
wine.
cares that you're crying.
And the best thing is you were visionary at that point, that you saw the ray of light and
Yeah.
hope that, if I get into it, this is the way forward. And
That was it, right? That was exactly what it was. It was like, maybe there's something else. I refuse to believe this was the ceiling. Here's the hard part. Sorry to interrupt. Here's the hard part, is when you're in that box and you're trying to punch out of that ceiling, your fist gets tired sometimes and you feel like maybe there isn't. There is no way out. I'm inside Pandora's box and there's no exit. It's hard to look past that,
Yeah, I think you came out of COVID. A lot of businesses didn't get out of COVID, right? Like they ran into financial difficulty. They gave up. There's a whole generation of business owners, just like the employees that did the whole like quiet quitting after COVID.
Yeah, I felt that.
Business owners also decided to just shut down and like not, want to come back, right? So you not only came back, but you have taken it to another level. You invested in dry eye. You're now opening a med spa. So think about how long that has been, and I'm just looking forward to what the future holds for you guys. But like, I think it's a great example for not just Victoria, Vancouver, but also across Canada. Like, there are lots of very successful, resilient business owners, families that are juggling, keeping kids happy and family together while managing this. So you guys should feel really good about what you've done. Congratulations.
Thank you all. The teamwork,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We split the responsibilities. It was not a heavy
90-10.
No way. No
Yeah.
way. Absolutely not.
Yeah, you complement each other very well, and I think what's really unique is it probably comes through in the secret sauce of this practice, right? So there's one thing that none of your competitors are going to be able to replicate is the two of you, right? And the way you think about your patients. You're not trying to sell them anything. You're trying to build relationships.
We're going to provide solutions for the problems they got. That's it. It's up to them to take it and up to us to educate them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think that's what your brand stands for. I have a feeling when I walk in here that it's a very different, it's not a cold place. Your personalities come through, and even your staff and this place. So
A lot of laughter.
yeah, it's welcoming. That's the way, and that's very similar to Boomerang, right? Like, we work very hard. We were built, with the same kind of, bold vision, and we laugh a lot, right? We play a lot.
You
and
have
we laugh a
to.
lot.
You have to. You only got so many beats, and then you're gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Live each one. You gotta make it worth it.
Yeah.
Mirror of that. This is our.
Obviously, made the transition from optometry, and now you're into aesthetics, dry eye. We're so excited about how well you've, built a much broader business. And along the way, you met InMode. You invested in the Envision device. And then about a year and a half ago, you also met Boomerang at the same event. So tell us about first impression about Boomerang and how that all came about.
So we were at Whistler, and I think I approached your booth, and you were manning that booth at that time with your team, your entourage. And I had asked you, I'll preface this by saying my background is IT, 25 years of IT, e-commerce, everything from databases, building networks, developing software. So I've developed software, and I've developed even more bad software. So I know terrible software. And I'll preface that by also saying I'm a double expert because optometry is plagued with terrible software. I've been doing optometry with my wife for the last 15 years. And I'll tell you, Boomerang is opposite of that. They are not a terrible software. When I had walked up to that booth, I had asked Mr. Jerome Dwight, Jerome, this is a practice management software? You said, yes. Jerome, I'm going to ask some questions. Just give me yes or no. Is it cloud-based? You said yes. Do you offer integrated payments? You said yes. So that's online and in-store payments. Do you have document storage for before and after pictures and contracts and consent forms? You said yes. Do you have a digital signature tool? You said yes, similar to DocuSign. So yes, 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 yes. And then I continue to ask, do you offer marketing and lead generation? Yes. So Facebook ads, Google ads, email marketing. Okay, interesting. And then I asked, okay, well, do you do web development? Just throwing more out there to see how far can I push this? And he said yes. I'm like, that's great. So at this point I was already sold, but then I looked over his shoulder and I noticed his booth had a bunch of textbooks. I said, do you have a learning portal? And you said,
Yes.
and I was like, tell me more. And Jerome indulged me and educated me on their learning platform, which had master classes, videos of previous events, case studies, documents, images, you name it. I'm like, okay, well, I was already sold before that, but it really was the cherry on top for me. I was in. I was all in at that point. So what they did was give me the opportunity to get into an all-in-one solution where I only had one phone number to call. And that's really important when you're starting your own business and starting a new venture, is you want to call as least amount of people as possible. And it was an all-in-one solution in that sense.
Yeah, what a journey. Boomerang has enjoyed seeing you accelerate not just optometry, getting to dry eye with Envision, and Helix Medspa, fully integrated end-to-end solutions now for all your patients. One of the most dominant practices over here in Victoria, and I would say BC. So it's very impressive. We're really happy that you chose Boomerang to work with you. How is the lead generation, especially the lead management software, in helping you manage your leads, convert them, and so forth?
Great question. So when we first got onboarded to this, it was all new to us. So the onboarding was critical, and this lovely human right here was the best person to onboard us, because I'm very persnickety, and she was patient with us and got us fully onboarded and fully immersed in the Boomerang ecosystem. And then the leads started pouring in, and they didn't stop. So if you wanted to have a lead for dry eye or aesthetics, it would come in no matter what. And you have to be prepared. We got prepared. We finally got caught up because we were setting everything up and the leads were pouring in. We're like, we weren't ready, but they came in. Their job was complete. They brought us traffic. They brought us qualified leads.
This great success in the last year.
Yep.
So tell us quickly, how did Boomerang help you with that?
Quickly, time. They saved me time. I can tell you that when I was in Whistler, I signed up for everything in the same day, okay? Most people just sign up for the device and they think their clinic is magically gonna make money. They think they got the secret sauce, that's all they need, okay? I signed up for everything. In one day, I did the InMode device with all the heads, the Forma, Lamecca, Morpheus 8. I did the Firefly MediWorks slit lamp, which is the dry eye diagnostics tool to find the root cause of MGD. I did Illumier MD medical grade skincare product. I had no idea about anything to do with skincare. I was using 5-in-1 at the time, so it was terrible. But what I did see is on their table that there was a correlation between skincare and eye health. So I briefly saw that, but without going in any deeper, I just moved past it and signed up. I signed up with a financing partner, Beautify, but now we've switched to MediCard. But I needed to learn that whole thing. By the way, MediCard offers a lot more financing options and more flexible to my patients. You can get creative with how you offer these packages to your patient, making it more accessible to your entire patient base. And last but not least with Boomerang. So what did Boomerang do? How'd they save me time? Listen, I had no time. I signed up for 5 things. People are stressed out about signing up with one thing. We had 5, all 5. So Boomerang did everything for me. They basically onboarded my staff. They set up all the forms, all the treatment logs. They onboarded my doctor, my wife, Dr. Narang. They trained everybody on everything. They were a resource for me for how to do my protocols and consulting. So not only that, they did the website, they did the marketing, all that stuff. They gave me time to go back and study all the other learning curves that I had to take on. And I used the Boomerang Learn. Honestly, I went through all the Dr. Doran videos, watched. If you look at who viewed it, I'm probably the most viewed the most times. Dr. Mulholland's videos, everybody's videos, it helped me get to each of these learning curves and climb them quickly. Okay? So they gave me time, they saved me time, and they gave me the ability to do these in a quicker time, conquer these learning curves. I came back, revisited Boomerang. By that time, they already finished their 80% of the onboarding and setting it up for a business. The 20% that remained, the business owner has to be a part of that, right? So they got us onboarded and without giving me any stress. So this is big, because when you're starting something like this, you never have time, okay? It's important to know that these guys will be in your corner and they will help you with anything related to medical, spa, and aesthetics. even if you're bridging a new industry into that.
You started off with your eye care, dry eye treatment,
Yeah.
and then you opened Helix.
That's right.
How did Boomerang FX help you convert patients from your dry eye to the med spa space?
Oh.
And what was the conversion like?
The conversion from that to from optometric medical treatment over to med spa, Boomerang helped in that it was a seamless process. It seemed very professional. They enjoyed the journey they had through the email notifications, through getting the forms filled out with such ease, like that DocuSign type of signature makes it so much easier for us not to store paper. I mean, from optometry, listen, optometry came from a place of paper. Our lab is full of lab orders, and it's just, I hate paper now. But the fact that I don't have to store paper and be responsible for that for 7 years is amazing. Okay, that in itself, I'm sold. But the patients absolutely love the fact that there's so many tools. We're offering, what do you call it, rewards to patients. So anytime they buy something, they get a reward point. So this was kind of the little thing that that encourages them to jump into the med spa, get an additional aesthetic treatment. They may have been wavering before, but like, I got some money sitting there, maybe we'll use that up. Yeah, and there's so many other things. I mean, just, yeah.
And tell us about the lead management dashboard. Is this something?
Oh my God, yeah. So this brings in all the leads. Yes, thank you. Right. So this brings in all your leads from Facebook, from wherever they're bringing them in from. They consolidate them, so you can actually act on them right in one dashboard. You're not going through 6 different dashboards. You already have enough software to worry about. This is an all-in-one solution. It puts everything in one spot. It's so much easier. It's streamlined. Run your business. They'll do the rest.
Beautiful journey. Along the way, I'm sure you achieved a lot of great milestones.
Yep.
So,
you know, everybody's got their own milestones. Mine were more of a learning and discovery. The technology, knowing what made the InMode device tick, the hardware, the radio frequency, and all the terminology that came along with it, and same with Lumeka, the IPL. Learning the protocol. Dr. Dorn's master classes taught me everything I needed to know to pour that foundation for me. Learning the science, like learning everything about the science behind this, the origin, understanding how far it can be pushed. How you can take so much away from that for your lane and your modality, right? Learning the industry. I'm in optometry, I'm not in aesthetics. So knowing how can I apply aesthetics into this? How do I bridge that? And also knowing where I live in that world and not being distracted by a squirrel or a shiny light or temptation, you know, like moving into too many different areas. You got to stay focused on one. I think everybody's journey is different. Everybody's going to have a really different journey, and their milestones are going to be to each to their own. However, I think it's how I achieve my milestones that's more important, right? The biggest part was really going in through the Boomerang Learn portal. That taught me everything I needed to know. I walked through every video I possibly could. We had your textbooks on our bedside table. I am not joking.
I gotta get that on video.
We had your textbooks there. We would read. I'd fall asleep. She'd give me a nice elbow, wake up, and we would just read it. We'd wake up. Oh, that's a cool fact, and we just go down the rabbit holes. And it was amazing. And rewatching all the videos, rewatching past events. So the other thing that's important, you know, like that learning portal was invaluable. Going to these events, I've been to like 7 now since we started this. I don't stop, because each time you go, you learn something. You have to get to these events because you're gonna learn something different each time. If I heard the same speaker speak day 1 and then down the road, 6 months later, the same guy speak, I'm gonna take something different away from that person because I'm now immersed in the industry and things make more sense. And you're gonna take something different away. You're gonna come up with more intelligent questions to ask that person. So, you know, watching Dr. Mulholland on stage, for example, he's a plastic surgeon. Dr. Stephen Mulholland, a plastic surgeon, co-founder of InMode. He has nothing to do with optometry, 0. Okay, but when you watch this man on stage, live, he'll have the face tight. This is a device that's equivalent to a meat thermometer, and he'll like run this through somebody's neck while he's looking into the audience, cracking a joke, running his stand-up routine, all the while giving the patient the results they wanted. Like there's something to be taken from that you can take back to your business. I don't care who you are. That is confidence right there, okay? Dr. Dorn, I mean, listen, this guy's poured the foundation for us to accelerate and get to the next level, to really know how to tailor our treatments. We're at the point now we can tailor them and customize them for each individual case. But that's only because of Dr. Dorn. This guy is the pioneer of this dry eye protocol. He's the one that we owe a debt of gratitude towards, okay? Another time we went, and listen, this is good. This is a good story. We went to Banff, and this was a recommendation from Sergio again, the InMode rep. I'm like, I listened to him the first time, and things worked out. Maybe I'll listen to him again and go check this event. And he goes, there's a guy speaking there, you have to hear him. And it was Dr. Daria Hamra. This man is a plastic surgeon in Washington, D.C. He has he does rhinoplasty, he does plastic surgery, he does charitable cleft lip and cleft palate surgeries, and I think he's gone to Colombia now, and he's got a documentary on that. You should watch it. Follow this guy on Instagram. He's the Tony Robbins of this industry. He's the Tony Robbins of these conferences. I went there to listen to him, and we walked into the conference, and she said, "We're not sitting in the front row." And we were holding hands, and I grabbed her hand and I went to the front row. I'm like, too bad. I sat right in the front row. We made a connection, Dr. Hammer and I. And I'm glad I sat there because it was like he was speaking to me. Because of him, I was able to get the confidence I needed, get out of my own way. He spoke about the device, but more importantly, he spoke about failure, successes. It was a business therapy session. You gained so much confidence from that. You went back with your tank full of confidence, okay? So follow this man on his journey on Instagram. You're gonna see what he does. He's amazing. If you have a chance to see this guy live, you have to, right? He's the reason why we started our social media journey. He's the reason I can talk. He's the reason I got better. Honestly, if he can do this for me, he can do it for anybody. Go to these events, it's important, right? And then you ask me another question. Right? This is my journey. Anybody can do the same journey, just do the same recipe. Social media is a big one too, actually. You got to get on the social media train. You have to, because your neighbor's going to do it, and a year from now, your competition is going to beat you, and you're going to be out on the road. You're going to be so sad, because if you do your social media, you're going to have credibility. People are going to know that you're in it for the long run, and not just a fly-by-night place looking for a cash grab. Okay? You asked me another question, Mawa. She said, you're busy, what are you gonna do next, right? Well, this room is full, we're at capacity now. We only work 9 to 2. So then we go home, pick up our kids, so this room's empty from 2 p.m. till 5 p.m. Those are gonna be med spa hours, but even now, it's already booked. I mean, those hours are taken up in the short 6 months we've started this, right? So why don't you go ahead and open that door up? This is what we're doing next.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right, so that's an extension good. Fantastic.
Yeah, so we basically, this was planned in 2017 when we bought this place, and we renovated it. This was a closet. I'm moving the closet to the end. This room used to be my office. So we scaled up. We knew we wanted to provide some treatment to our patients, something long-term to fix them. We were 15 years of treating dry eye with Band-Aid fixes that didn't work. We did not push anything on our patients that there's so many other devices out there, let alone RF and IPL, other dry eye solutions that we didn't believe in, you know? And now we've started to expand. We have to bring another InMode device in now. We're no longer a side office. That's a side office operation we had here. We're now a treatment center. So we have to have redundancy for our patients in case something happens to that machine. We're able to service them. Their treatment, which is an 8-week protocol, will not be affected.
On behalf of, Dr. Stephen Mulholland, co-founder of InMode, who is sort of one of the pioneers of this industry, the visionary behind not just radio frequency aesthetics, aesthetic medicine, but now devices like the Envision device. And as a co-founder of Boomerang, we are just ecstatic about working with practices like you. Not only are you great clinical practitioners, but you're also great business people.
Thank you.
You know how to work with intelligent software, with marketing, capitalize on our learning portal. So we're just excited and honored to work with you, on behalf of all of our employees in Canada, the US, worldwide. And on behalf of Dr. Mulholland, I just want to thank you guys for trusting us with your business.
It's our pleasure.
And we're going to work with you to continue to see growth and exciting things ahead. So thanks again.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.